Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nikhil has just joined us as well, and we request you to join us in lighting the lamp as we start the event. Thank you so much. I'd like to now invite Nanika, Dia, and...
Thank you very much for having me here in Hyderabad. Your weather is as warm as the people of Hyderabad, so it's one of the best cities in the country to come to. So thank you very much, first of all, for having me here in Hyderabad. Before anything else, I think rather than me, we should be celebrating young Ishanvi, so she deserves another round of applause for what she's achieved. You know, I do a quiz show for young school kids. We had to stop it during COVID, but it was a great opportunity to talk to young children. And maybe next time I should have a quiz question. Who is the youngest published author in the country? And who knows? The answer could well be Ishanvi. So congratulations, because you might well find yourself in the next round of quiz to be the youngest to have been published. I'll also tell you why I think it's very special that a 10-year-old should do what Ishanvi has done. This is the Instagram age. This is the age of social media where you're supposed to write everything in 280 characters. My children once showed me something called Snapchat. Now I didn't understand what it was because the photograph went off inside a minute. But apparently that is the magic of the times in which we live. Everything is instant. It's here today, it's gone tomorrow. Now in this age, very few people therefore, particularly of Ishanvi's age, seem to spend enough time in actually putting together something which can be remembered even 5-10 years from now, a book. This is not the book age. When we grew up, many of you here, we used to think about it. We didn't have mobile phones, we didn't even have internet, so we actually wrote letters to each other. You know, in Hindi they say, प्यार होता था खत से. You know, old Hindi films or even Telugu films, I'm sure, the romance was over letters. Today no one writes letters to each other. They're all on the mobile, talking to each other or doing FaceTime with each other. As a result, the art of writing, the art of communicating through words is increasingly being lost. I had actually started this quiz program to encourage young people to at least read newspapers, to maybe watch the news. Some of them do, but the truth is many of us don't, or many of our children don't. Many of the adults also don't. You see a family now across a table, each of them is looking at their mobile. None of them is actually talking to each other. They have very little time to actually talk to each other. So Ishanvi has reminded us that there is a world of letters that still exists. And I think that's what makes this book special. When we grew up because of Enid Blyton. And there were books like Famous Five and Secret Seven. Then another generation came up which grew up on J.
No, I never imagined in my wildest dreams that one day I would become an author. Until now. Firstly, thank you so much to each and every one, especially Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, Nikhil uncle, my loving grandparents, my family members, my relatives, my friends, my parents' friends, and everyone. I'm super overwhelmed with happiness and I feel uplifted and amazing. Frankly speaking, I was a bundle of nerves before I came up to speak, and I've had butterflies in my stomach since the day I found out that there are going to be so many people here. To all the people here, I'd like to briefly talk about my journey. Since I was a little girl, my mom used to read me a lot of bedtime stories, which actually ignited the reader in me. As I grew up, I started to read so much that now I have a library of books. Some of my favorite books include Wonder, Daughter of the Deep, and many, 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 many more. R.J. Palacio, which is the author of Wonder, according to me, is an amazing author because she made me believe that not all people are bad. I also love how she writes from different perspectives. Like this, there are so many other authors that I think really highly of. The books I like, the authors I admire, and the recent years of pandemic kick-started my journey of becoming an author. I started drafting my story in December 2020. It started off as a fun task, but it gradually turned into something big. Stories led to chapters, and chapters led to creating a book. The characters, the setting, the entire plot of the book occurred to me as I was engrossed in it. Many times there were days when I had writer's block, but my mom and dad motivated me and kept me on my toes. I was a mix of emotions on this journey. Happy, tired, elated, frustrated, and finally overjoyed that I was ready with the first draft. Then came in Miss Meera, the mentor who helped me transfer my book into the final draft. I'm always going to be so grateful to her. Later, my father informed me that this book was going to be published, which by the way I thought was a joke. But it wasn't, because here we are. They've always been super supportive. This has been my journey until now, but I realized that this is just the beginning. Yes, I plan to write more. Meanwhile, I'd love it if you all got a chance to read my book and support me in my endeavor to become an amazing author. Thank you.
Nikhil Siddharth, our other guest of honor today, to please address the gathering. Thank you so much, and we're delighted that you're here.
First of all, a very good afternoon to everybody present here. And it's a very tough act once you have somebody as amazing as Rajdeep Sardesai sir here speaking. Speaking after him is like is a daunting task. I thought he was enough, but then I had Ishanvi speak after him, and Ishanvi did an amazing job, like hitting the ball out of the park. So I am very nervous for the first time speaking on stage now. So sir, we have always grown up watching you speak, sir, and a lot of our vocabulary has come from, like, some of it has been picked up from you too, so you're an inspiration. And when I look at Ishanvi today, I'm reminded of myself. I mean, don't think you'll become like me later on, but I'm reminded of my 11-year-old self, because as I was just saying, Enid Blyton was the bread and butter, for every kid back in the 1980s, 1990s. So my first book was, I still remember it as 5 Go to Billycock Hill. That was the famous 5 book which I read, which was given to me by my mother, and she encouraged me to read. And from then on, I always had this burning desire to write too as a kid, but I couldn't. So now when I see you, I can say how privileged you are to get this opportunity. And as you said, your family has been very supportive, Ishanvi, especially Divya Garu and Rajana. We call him Rajana, Rajshekar Reddy Garu. So both of them have been very supportive, and I'm telling you this, you are very, very lucky to have this opportunity, and you have made full use, because I've gone through this, I've gone through the pictures, I've read part of it. It's beautiful. So the first review is coming from me, guys. This book is a great mysterious Mayhem. Is a very good read, and I would have enjoyed this. I enjoy this even now. So I must have enjoyed this as a kid. So all of you go get a copy on Amazon, and you already have just heard that all the proceedings are going to go for a very good organization called T-Hope, which I am happy to be a part of also, because Rajan has made me a part of it too. And it is a very good cause. So every single rupee that you're going to spend is going to go for education purposes for the underprivileged. I cannot say much more, but the only thing I can say is that telling stories is a very noble job. So through movies, I try to do my bit by telling stories too. So good messages, as you said, and I really love this message which you talked about, Ishanvi, about if you cannot blend in. How can you blend in when you are born to stand out? So I truly believe in that, and every single book of yours, I'm sure, is going to give a message. And I try to do that through my movies, and so does it every day through his wonderful opinions and views. So I'm really proud that you've achieved this, Ishanvi. I've seen you as a kid. I know we played cricket together and all that, but I never knew that you were this brilliant. So congratulations again, and this should definitely inspire more kids to come forward and not just blog or vlog. I think that's good too, but sometimes also think about writing a book and putting your thoughts on paper through pen. So it's a very powerful medium. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nikhil Siddharth. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for...
Wait a minute. नहीं बोला ना वो ना